According to randomized trials, promoting healthier, lower-calorie options on delivery apps has the potential to assist users in selecting more nutritious meals. According to 3 randomized trials being presented at this year's European Congress on Obesity, ECO, in Dublin, Ireland, May 17-20, implementing basic measures to assist individuals in selecting lower-calorie options when placing takeaway orders through delivery apps may be a helpful step in combating the obesity epidemic. During a study that utilized a simulated food delivery app, researchers discovered that interventions such as making lower-calorie foods and restaurants more visible, pre-selecting smaller portions as the default option, and displaying calorie labels all resulted in a reduction of total calorie intake from takeaways by 2 to 15% when compared to a control app. Dr. Filippo Bianchi from the Innovation Foundation Nesta and the Behavioural Insights team in London, along with colleagues from the University of Oxford, conducted the research. According to Dr. Bianchi, the results of our study indicate that it is possible to encourage people to choose food options with fewer calories without resorting to the elimination of less healthy options. This finding suggests that even minor changes in our eating habits can have a significant impact on reducing obesity rates, if implemented on a larger scale. Dr. Bianchi makes it clear that this does not necessarily mean that we have to replace our preferred pizza with a salad, but rather that initiatives that facilitate small improvements in our diets could be beneficial in the long run. Delivery apps like Uber Eats, Just Eat and Deliveroo are used by approximately 25 million adults in the UK, indicating a 55% increase since 2015. Although takeaway meals can be a delightful experience, they typically contain significantly more calories than meals prepared at home and are correlated with an increased risk of gaining excess weight. Studies conducted on prominent restaurant chains in the United Kingdom in the past have shown that a mere 9% of their menu items contained less than 600 kcal per serving. Nearly half of the meals, 47%, had at least 1,000 kcal or more, which roughly equates to half of an adult's recommended daily energy intake. Furthermore, consuming takeaway or delivery food has been associated with increased energy intake and a higher body mass index, BMI. Dr. Bianchi points out that delivery apps have the potential to reach millions of people and encourage healthier food choices. But there is a lack of research investigating effective ways to promote nutritious options within these platforms. In order to obtain further information, researchers designed a simulated food delivery application and carried out 3 randomized controlled trials involving 23,783 adults who were 18 years or above and active users of food delivery applications, to assess 14 interventions that encouraged the selection of lower-calorie alternatives as compared to a control group. During each experimental trial, participants were instructed to select a meal option that they would typically choose in their daily lives. The key metric for evaluating the trial's success was the total amount of calories present in the shopping cart at the time of checkout, to eliminate the possibility of any confounding factors such as BMI, age, gender and income. The results were suitably adjusted. During the initial experiment, 3 interventions were studied that encouraged the adoption of smaller portion sizes by means of defaults. The total number of participants was 6,000, with random assignment to either a control group without intervention or to one of the following groups: 1. Defaulting to small portion sizes. 2. Defaulting to small portion sizes with normalization, using the term regular instead of small. Or 3. Defaulting to small portion sizes with normalization and availability, the introduction of an additional extra small portion size option. On average, the meal ordered by individuals in the control group consisted of 1,411 kcal, which is equivalent to 56–70% of the recommended daily calorie intake for an adult in a single takeaway meal. The control group was compared to 3 interventions, all of which resulted in a notable decrease in calorie purchases. On average, the interventions reduced calorie purchases by 5.5%, 78 kcal per order, to 12.5%, 177 kcal per order, when compared to the control group. During the second trial, 4 interventions were tested which aimed to make lower calorie options more visible by repositioning foods and restaurants. In total, 9,003 adult participants were assigned randomly to one of two groups: a control group in which restaurants and food options were listed at random, or to one of three intervention groups. The first intervention group consisted of lower-calorie food options listed at the top of menus, while the second intervention group had lower-calorie main meals placed at the top of the restaurant selection page. The third intervention group had both interventions 1 and 2 combined, but with the repositioning of lower-calorie and higher-priced options to the top of the menus and selection pages. This final intervention was created to encourage healthier options while also ensuring that restaurant businesses were not negatively impacted. On average, individuals who utilized the control delivery app ordered a meal that consisted of 1,382 kcals, which is equivalent to 55 to 69% of an adult's recommended daily calorie intake. All interventions were successful in decreasing the total calorie content of orders when compared to the control app, but positioning lower calorie options at the top of both food and restaurant displays proved to be the most effective method, resulting in an average reduction of 15%, 209 kcals per order. The intervention that considered the cost of food proved to be crucial, resulting in an average reduction of 8%, 117 kcals, in calorie content of orders, alongside an increase in the price of the basket, all the while ensuring that businesses' economic objectives were met. To determine if lower calorie options can be encouraged through calorie labels, 8,780 adults were involved in the final trial that tested 7 different label designs. Different labeling strategies existed for presenting calorie information to consumers. Some of these methods were as straightforward as merely listing the caloric value of each option, while others were more inventive to accommodate those who might be adversely affected by such information. One approach was to offer users a toggle that permitted them to conceal or reveal the calorie details on the simulated application. When compared to the control app that didn't provide any calorie information, 5 of the 7 labels were able to significantly reduce the calorie content of orders, with an average reduction of 33 kcals/order, 2%, to 110 kcals/order, 8%, for the calorie labels combined with a filter that allows people to display or hide the calorie information. Simultaneously published at ECO, the authors' Think Aloud study delved into the most effective and acceptable ways to enhance calorie labels in food delivery apps through consultation with 20 adult delivery app users in the UK. The primary suggestions consist of implementing a filter that enables users to turn calorie labels on and off, conveying the suggested energy intake per meal, that is 600 kilocalories, instead of solely per day, that is 2,000 kilocalories, and abstaining from presenting calorie label messaging or formatting in a judgmental manner, such as using red fonts. Dr. Bianchi claims that the studies offer promising evidence of the feasibility of minor adjustments to delivery apps that can facilitate identifying and selecting healthier food options for a large number of individuals. To evaluate the long-term impact of these changes in the real world, it is essential to conduct trials of similar initiatives with actual restaurants and delivery apps. Additionally, it is necessary to conduct further research to determine the optimal means of achieving desirable health outcomes while reducing the impact on businesses and mitigating the cost of living concerns of consumers. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.